So Jeff, my thought is this though, that
go ahead.
But by talking about the custody evaluators, and I know what you're saying, but nevertheless, you're acceding some type of jurisdiction of the court in that matter. And I understand what's going on right now, but I still want to say, why do they even have jurisdiction in an issue of the family? It may not be a popular argument, but I still, the state has now said, we own your children. And in some areas, you can almost say it's discriminatory because it's based on marital status or potential marital status. So that's just my thought.
Yeah, those arguments just don't win. I mean,
no, I know they don't win, yeah. But I understand that.
I hate to point people. Look, you can be philosophically right.
Yeah.
And be put up against a wall and shot. Right.
No, but here's the idea.
All the anti-communists that were shot,
Right. So what would happen if? And I mean, look, there was something I did one time when I was in the military. There was a drill sergeant, somebody else's platoon. He was going to come and mess with our platoon. I happened to be the platoon leader at the time, and I was told by my drill sergeant, if he comes over and he does that, you do not pay attention. We are your drill sergeants. So I went around the bus to everybody because I knew it was going to happen. And I said, do not do this. Do not obey him. Do not, and everybody listened to me. And I actually had to leave to grab something. And when I came back, there was yelling and screaming and everything else. But the entire platoon was not paying attention to him. It caused them to have a nervous breakdown, I think. I don't know. But I mean, at what point in time do we just say no? You can't get everybody to do it. And I understand that there are different reasons for doing it. But what would happen if the entire state just said?
I can tell you how. It's not complicated. If you just think about how human psychology works, right? You give people small wins saying no. They have small wins saying no.
Yep.
They get larger wins saying no. And eventually they'll say no to the big thing.
Yeah.
If you tell them to say no to things that they're not going to win,
yeah,
stop saying no.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
you have to give people wins.
Yeah,
you can say no to gag orders because the anti-SLAPP statutes are on your side, and you can win those cases. Okay.
Yeah.
You can win the right to an adversarial presentation of a custody evaluator. Those are possible to win.
Yeah.
You can do these things. So you need to offer those small wins. And but this is how the left works. This is how the left got this transgender stuff.
Yeah.
They make a bunch of small wins.
Yeah.
And then they turn it into a giant legal precedent eventually.
Right.
Every court in the United States.
Right. So this is a different way. Maybe it's a small win and to some degree, but because of the whole COVID stuff and everything, we've had a lot of these meetings online. And what we have, and Eric, I know that we both have helped facilitate this a little bit a few times where, somebody will say, hey, can we get some people to watch? And all of a sudden, there was a judge that's like, there's like 26 people watching this hearing. What's going on? And he ended up recusing himself. Now, that may seem like nothing, but to me, that was a win.
It is a win. That's a great win.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. And so
it shows everybody who was involved the power of court watching.
Right. But we only did it once or twice. And I'm like, come on, we need to have some type of an organization that, we have redundancy in place. Not everybody can turn on their computer and walk away or whatever, or watch it or record it. I say record everything too. Even though they say do not record, I say record it. And, but, we have to have some way that we are organized together so that we can take these small wins and that we are not looking, like you said, there's no leader here. Somehow it's happening. I got this transcript. I don't know how I got it. I got the court recording. I don't know how I got it. But we are just all firing and we don't stop. We are relentless. Brandon Johnson said this the first time I met him. We must be relentless. What you just said, Jeff, be relentless. We never stop. And we're them out.
You have to be willing to disobey.
Yeah.
And it was the first time we had done something like that, Jeff. You had sent me the link. I showed up on YouTube. I kept saying, "This is Eric from Dad Talk. I'm watching you." And I said, it's crazy. I said, we're seeing some of the worst cases I've ever seen in this area down in Texas. I'm about to come investigate that. And I promise you, we're watching everything you're doing. And at the end of that case, I watched the judge say, I got to recuse myself from this. We got to get off of it. And I was like, it worked. It worked. Now, what if we had more advocates that weren't afraid and got on there? That's when we're doing this little tour across the country, going to the capitals. I'm prepared to go talk to our legislators and say, you're either for us or you're against us. And if you're for us, I'm going to tell people. If you're against us, we're going to tell people. And we got to make ourselves an issue. We are a main platform issue. Right. Just we haven't organized good enough to make that happen, and that's about to go away. We are about to make it that way. But you got to go out there and not be afraid, guys. You are standing up for what I feel is the number one issue facing us in society. You've got that on your behalf. So go out there, be fearless, and show up to these things. Jeff, I'm sure you could use a few more hands down there in Texas to go and do some of this court watching. Sure. I'm going to tell you, they don't like it when that guy walks in the courthouse because they know he's going to call it out for what it is, and he's going to say something. And we need more Jeff Morgans. We need more Jeff Youngers, Melissa Isaacs. We need people like that, guys. And, kind of like what Jeff Younger was saying earlier on here, a lot of people get on Facebook, they post the memes, and they post awareness, and they think that's advocacy. I mean, not saying that awareness and doing that doesn't help to some degree, but guys, we got to get boots on the ground. That's when this thing is really going to happen. We can sit around telling stories around the campfire, or we can all grab a bucket and go get some water and say, we're going to put this thing out.
Yeah. And let me give you an